Hello and welcome everyone. I am Linda Israel and thank you so very much for being here at my live stream on YouTube. I go live every Monday at 3:45 p.m. Central Standard Time unless I'm on vacation or something else comes up, but generally I'm live or I have a premiere video that you can come and watch. If you're watching this as a replay after the live stream has ended and you're on a computer, you can look for the little gear at the bottom of the screen and change the speed. If you're on a mobile device, generally the three little dots at the top, you can use those to change the playback speed to get through it a little faster, because generally my live streams last around 2 to 2.5 hours. I want to thank Robin for being my moderator and administrator and note taker throughout the live stream. She is generally my one right-hand woman, if you will, and I am so thankful to have her. She also is an administrator of the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group. Occasionally, if she's not available, one of the other administrators will come over and help me, or a friend will help me moderate the video today. If you have questions, please feel free to put those in all caps and I'll do my best to answer those questions. If I don't see it, please ask again. Or if you know the answer to somebody's question, please answer it. Hey, if you have a YouTube channel, please feel free to share with us by saying, hey, I have a YouTube channel and this is what I do on it. You won't be able to share a link, but you can at least talk about your YouTube channel. Let's keep the chat upbeat, friendly, and helpful. If you are having a great day, let us know. But honestly, we don't want the negative, what is going on in the world right now, because we are here to escape that, to be inspired, to be friendly, and have some fun. During the live stream, you have an opportunity to earn junk bucks. You can type !bucks to see how many that you have once Junkie Joe is up, because this is preliminary and I've pre-recorded this. Once you have 2,000 junk bucks, you can redeem those by typing a ward and you can get a $10 off coupon to my shop. How do you earn junk bucks? Just by being here, chatting with us. So make sure that you speak up in the chat so that Junkie Joe registers that you're here, and by playing the in-chat games, and then also whenever you make donations. Occasionally I have raffles. In fact, right now there should be Junkie Joe coming up. You can type !raffle just as that says, and you can enter the raffle to win 200 junk bucks. If you make a donation during my live stream, do go over to my website at lindaisrael.com. You can see the name scrolling across the bottom here, and create a user account. Once you've created a user account on my website, make sure that you use the contact me form and say, hey, my name is on YouTube and I donated, and then I can get you added to the YouTube donator membership on my website. What does that do? Well, a member of my website in the YouTube donator membership gets 5% off orders in my shop, gets several digital downloads for free, and during the live stream when you donate, you get a chance to win the journal that I raffle off at the very end. Throughout the live stream, I will have different raffles giving away prizes. If you will type !raffle when you see those come up, then you can have a chance to win those items. We're going to get started here in just a moment. Thank you so much for being here today. When the video is over, come back and leave a comment. Tell me what you liked about today's video, or if you have questions and you're watching this as a replay, use that comment section down below. Also, look in the description box to links to the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group, as well as by Linda Israel, my Instagram, Twitter, my website, and generally I try to update the products that I use, and those links are in the description box as well. All right, well, let's get started.
Okay, I think I've got us live. Are we live? Are we here? Is everybody here? Are you ready for this mess? Hello, everybody. I hope you are well. All right, so you can see my fingernails that I've made. I call these pink marbled. So there's all different types of pink. There's a little bit of glitter in them. Thank you, Margie. Thank you, Jennifer, for your amazing donations. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you for being here, for your donations, for your support, your thumbs up, sharing this video, the whole gamut. I've been spending the day kind of just playing around and trying to decide what to do today. So I thought mainly it's just about play. You know, there is many times that we may not feel like, thank you, Julie. We may not feel like doing something creative. Maybe you, you just are stuck. You can't quite figure out what to do. Well, this is just about playing and probably grabbing products that you already own and doing something with those. So I'm going to put a glove back on so I don't mess up my pink nails. And I make my own nails. I learned how to do what they call press-on nails. So I will decorate the nails on a nail stand. These gloves are a nightmare. And then I save them for when I'm ready to wear them, and I can press them on with a sticky tab. And then when I'm done with these nails, meaning I'm done for the week, I want to switch them to something else. I soak my hands in warm water, and these just pop right off. I put them in my storage container, and I can use them another day. Your dinner's on the way. Okay, gotcha. All right. Will you enjoy your dinner? Okay, so I've got some stencils. I've got some book pages. I've got some Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist. You know, it's just about playing. So the first thing I've done today is I took a book and I kind of just tore the pages out of it. I will buy books occasionally at the dollar store for $1. Some books are given to me. I don't even read them. I just buy them based on the paper that's in them, the size of it, and the bargain. And I've got a brayer, and I've just got some basic white acrylic paint. I wanted to start off with a fairly blank page, if you will, but maybe you don't have a lot of paper in your stash. Maybe you only have access to a few things. So here's a way to alter some pages. You can use your junk mail. I don't know why this is curling up on me. It wasn't doing this all day. Of course, now we're getting rain and it's very humid here today. You may have some junk mail. You may have some mobiles, or you may have some papers that you got from whatever. In this case, I'm using a book page, and I'll put a generous amount on it. If I want some of that text to come through, I won't put a very thick coat, but if I want to cover it up, I'll put quite a bit. Sometimes I get these little paint boogers. I will just brayer that on. I'll use my heat tool to kind of dry it a little bit and then set it aside. Oh yeah, tomorrow, is it the 13th? I thought it was the 15th. Is it Tuesday morning? You gotta go? I have to look at my calendar. I'm supposed to take Robin to be her transportation to take her kitty cat to the vet. Yeah, paying over the bills like they don't exist. Well, with a lot of us today, we have online bill pay. So they send us a paper bill, but we don't really need it. All right, so we've got a couple of pages that we've added some stuff to. So I'm going to set this one aside for just a second. I've got this is just a piece of paper towel, mainly because I'm going to use some Tattered Angels. And I don't want it to spray all over the place and get everything sopping wet. I'm just going to grab a couple of colors. Let's see what I've got here. Oh, here we go. I've got, these are some of my kits that I have. This one's Aqua Vibe. I think that's from the Positive Vibes kit. And this is Under the Sea from the Under the Sea kit. And what I'm going to do is just take this and spritz it all over. So it instantly adds color. Now, if you don't have Tattered Angels, maybe you have some watercolor paints or even acrylic paint. You can mix it with some water, put it in a spray bottle, and spray all over. I'm going to set this one up here for just a moment. And we'll get a different one out. And we'll do it with a different color. Pardon me. This one I'm just going to spray with this blue. So it's a nice, pretty shade of blue. And if you put a lot on there, you can tilt it and get it to run. Sometimes it makes some really cool patterns when you add a little bit to it. You know what? I'm going to add some of this green to it. And see how, oh, that made that green even darker. Mixing it with the blue. Now all of a sudden I sneezed just before the live stream started. So now my nose is going to be all stopped up. Drink more water. Uh-oh. Drink more water. Alright, so I've got that one. This was still a little damp, so I'm going to use my heat tool and kind of dry it just a smidge. Alright, move this one up out of the way for a moment so it can be air drying. What I like about using the acrylic paint and then the Tattered Angels over it, you can write on these pages. Now, you can still see the text under it, but if you write the other direction, you can definitely write over those. All right, so I'm going to grab a stencil this time. Let's see, let's do this one. This is, I think this was called Diamonds with Flair. So I'm going to lay that on here. And I'm going to grab another page that I painted earlier. So I've got it ready. Let's get a different one. I've got this one. All right, so I've got that here. I've got a darker color. This one's called a Toy Soldier. I think this is from, I sold out, a Christmas Dream. But it's darker. I don't know if it's as dark as Sapphire or Indigo, because this one's a deeper, darker color. I'm trying to use up some of these Tattered Angels that I had with kits. So if there's a color that you really want to know more about, just say so and I will list it down below or try to tell you. But I think this is close to Sapphire. Let's see. I don't hope it's not clogged up because I used it earlier. Okay, so I sprayed that all over. I'm going to lift this up and remove the page. So you see it made a pattern below. And then I'm going to take this painted book page and lay it over the top. I'm going to grab another piece of paper here and just basically mop up those Tattered Angels onto that painted page. Somebody send me a message. Okay. I've got a customer that I have told repeatedly that I don't work on Mondays, that I am live streaming, so I won't answer your messages. It ran just a little bit, but I kind of like the way that looked. There's a little bit of Tattered Angels still on here, so I'm going to just kind of dry that off. There's a little bit of a resist going on with the paint, so that's why it kind of pools, but I like the effect. Well, warm up the water, Julie. Make it take some honey and a little bit of lemon and put it in some warm water. Which will make it taste good. And it doesn't add too much as far as calories. That's kind of cool. So here it is where the background was sprayed and then the stencil was put on top of it. So you kind of get two different patterns there. Different. Yeah, sometimes people don't like warm water, but if you add something to it, maybe make some tea. Make some green tea. That way it still allows you to get some of that water. All right, so I've got another book page. We did spray this one with some Tattered Angels. It's still very wet, so I'm going to give that a moment to dry. And I think this time I've got a tray. It's like a meat tray. We get them here sometimes. And yeah, honey and lemon. These were given to me by a friend a while back. So I'm going to put some paint in here. I'm trying to decide, do I want a heavy body paint or do I want a cheap acrylic paint? I'm going to get, I've got this light turquoise. And I thought I had my darker turquoise out, but I don't see it. I've got this pink. All right, so I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to dry this and I think stamp over the top of it. So get a little bit dry. That's almost dry. Peppermint tea, yeah, green tea. Yeah, coffee drinking coffee is like drinking negative water, Robin. Every cup of coffee you drink, you need to drink like 3 cups of water because coffee is a diuretic. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of this light turquoise over here. And I'm going to put a little bit of this royal fuchsia over here. All right, so this is a pool noodle that I had cut up because I made a temporary, it's kind of like a cone to put on a dog, but I used the pool noodle so that he wouldn't scratch himself. And it worked pretty good, and I didn't need it anymore, so I took it apart. All right, so I'm just going to come in here and add some circles for some texture. Now let's put one right here. Let's put another one right there. All right, so that kind of added a little bit. And I know it's kind of probably washing out because it's so pale, but it's kind of fun. Yeah, I'm sure black tea does too because of the fact that it is high in caffeine. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm looking for something else that I want to use. How about if we stay with the circle theme? I've got a spool from thread. So I'm just going to come in here and make some circles. So if you don't have stencils, but you got some acrylic paint, look for objects around your home that you can use to make some patterns on some book pages. How's that? I'll clean that off a little bit. I think I'm going to hit this with a heat tool for just a moment, and I'm going to set this aside. We've been drinking lemon tea with slices of, well, that's good. Oh, yeah, the oranges in it too. Get you some more citrus, more vitamin C. All right, I'm going to let this dry for a little bit, and maybe we'll come back and we'll add some more texture to it. But what do you think? Can you kind of see the different layers in there? And since we have these colors out on my table already, I'm going to grab another book page and lay that down. I've got a different shade. This is from the Enchanted Rose. It's a pink. So now we're making that background just a pale pink. I'm going to hit it with the heat tool just a little bit. Okay, that's kind of dry-ish. Let's grab a different stencil. How about... Oh, this is... Oh, I always get this confused, and I've taken it out of the sheet. So it's either Little Daisies or More Little Daisies. I don't remember which one this is. But I've got that pink over here, so I'm going to take a little bit of this pink. And I've got one of the Ranger daubers, and I just keep it for mixed media. When I'm done with it, I wash it out. And as long as it doesn't get hard, it seems to work pretty good. So I'm just going to pounce it over the stencil. Now, if you want it to be super saturated, then just keep going back over that area. I'm okay with it being a little grungy looking. Okay. How is everybody? Y'all having a good week? Had a good week the past week? I've been busy. We are starting to enter that hot summer months, and we have at our home signed up to what we call the smart hours, where you're supposed to use less energy between 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. And because of that, I've been trying to figure out ways to keep our home cool and use less energy. And we ended up buying 2 new ceiling fans. Oh, it kind of, my dauber was really wet, so it kind of smushed through the stencil a little bit. I'm going to set this aside, and I've got a different one. I'm going to take the wet side of that, and I think what I do is kind of brayer over this. Let's see how this comes out. I give this a nice pattern. I'm going to put this in some water over to the side to help get rid of that paint on there. So we bought 2 new ceiling fans and installed those, and that seems to make the area a little bit cooler. So I'm kind of glad that we got those. It's expensive, but the cost savings of running those ceiling fans as opposed to our air conditioner all the time will hopefully offset that. Okay. Crazy week. Grandson's first birthday was a whole weekend. Oh, how fun! Leading class at VBS. Ooh, fun, Lori, fun, fun, fun. And I'm just kind of drying this just a little bit. Okay, so there's a couple more that I've made. So I'll set these aside. I'm going to grab a different one. All right, so this time I'm going to spray it with the aqua because it's just almost empty. Almost. All right, let's dry it. Busy, busy, busy. Okay, I think that's dry enough. Let's grab a different stencil. Oh, I like this one. And I've already forgotten the name of this one too. It's relatively new. I wonder if I have the sheet laying here. Oh, here it is. I've got this one. It's called Vintage Wallpaper. Vintage Wallpaper. So I've sprayed the back with that aqua color, a little bit of, okay, that's just a little bit of paint. All right, so I'm going to use the dauber again, and we're going to just daub through the stencil. And because it's not wet anymore with water, it shouldn't go underneath. I had cleaned my little dauber before we started today, and I forgot to squeeze out the excess water. I think this would be pretty done with some gold paint. I may have to get some out. Just kind of going back over it in a few spots. Okay, so since I've done that whole page, I'm going to move this one out of the way, lay this back down. Oop, dropping pages, dropping pages. I got another page here. I'm just going to lay it on top. I think I broke my stencil already. I have to make another one for myself. Okay, rub that over, kind of get some of that paint off of the stencil. A lot of people are asking me, can you do that when you gel print? Yes, I just don't have enough room to lay out paper. So that kind of gives us a nice grungy background. Oh no, I hope you feel better, Lori. That's no fun. And then here was the one where we stenciled through the stencil. Dry this off. We're doing a lot of pink and teal at the moment, mainly because I already had it out on my desk. Let's go back to this one. I may dry it some more. It's very, very wet. Love it! Okay. Okay. It's still really, really wet. I put a lot of paint on here. I'm trying to decide what do I want to do on top of that. So let's grab a different stencil. I've got the roses stencil. This is the, I think it's called Small Roses, if I remember correctly. And let's get, trying to clean off my dauber just a smidge. And I want a different color, so I'm going to get a different palette here. And slide this one up here out of the way for a moment. Kind of clean my dauber off. In fact, what I could do instead is grab another, this is a blank paper, so I'm just going to okay. Way to clean off the dauber really fast. Okay, set that over here for a moment. Got this stencil. What color do I want to put over the other? Maybe a lavender color. So I've got this. How did I get paint there? I got paint everywhere. You like that stencil too, Jennifer? I believe it came in the Enchanted Rose kit. And then later I added it as a standalone stencil. I was looking through my stash and all my texture paste has dried up. So I added some water to them and made sure to put some plastic wrap over the mouth of the bottle before I put the lid on, hoping that keeping that moisture trapped in there. All right, I'm not going to try to put this onto another piece of paper because I don't think it's going to work as well. I kind of made a different background. All right. I probably should have used a darker color. I mean, again, we're experimenting. Use it small rose. Type in rose or small rose stencil. It is a standalone, small rose. Why are you watching 2 lives? All right, so we got those. So what else we got here? All right, I'm just going to come on here with my dauber and add, kind of clean it off the dauber a little bit, giving some color to the background. Now, I saw a technique that, I'm not saying, Rabina? I think it might be Rabina. She does a lot of mixed media stuff, and she was taking an acrylic block. I'm trying to find one of my smaller ones. Oh, this will work because it's not. So she was taking an acrylic block and she was putting paint on the acrylic block and then stamping it onto her paper. So I'm just going to dip it into the paint directly. And then kind of, I'm just making squares all over. And then what she was doing was she was using another piece of paper that she would rub it off on to get the paint off of it. You can dry in between if you want. I'm going to grab this teal and then come in here in different spots and adding some teal to it. And then again, I'm going to just wipe this off and I'll clean it with a rag. So I've got 3 colors going on so far. I'm going to dry this just a little bit. There you go. Small rose stencil. You found it. Aquaman. Finishing a sale or selling stuff. All right. Some water. She used different sizes too, but I think, let's see if I got a different, I got a rectangle one here. I don't know if I want to use that, or maybe what I'll do is I'll add a different color here. Let's go with a darker purple. So I'm going to grab this purple here and put it right here. And I think what I'm going to do is just do the end. So I'm just going to kind of pop it through. Kind of making some abstract marks. All right, so I went that way, so I'm going to rotate it. Let's go this way. That makes some interesting paper, doesn't it? All right, so I'm just going to wipe this off. Clean off my block. Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so that just kind of made some interesting patterns on there, didn't it? Lots of layers. Okay. I think I need to turn my ceiling fan up in my room here. There we go. Get some airflow. Isn't that cool? Just kind of some little different pieces of stamp block on there. I think we need some circles. So what color should we do the circles in? Maybe a darker blue. I've got this medium blue here. Are you in Oklahoma right now, Rhonda? All right, so I've just got a medium blue here. I'm going to use the bottom of my spool that held thread. All right, and we're just going to add a few spots. Kind of going off the page. And it's just paper, so if we don't like it, it's no big deal. I think that's done. I think we're done with this one. And I'm just going to clean this off. That'd be another technique where I just rolled this. You get a line on your paper. Okay. All right, let's dry it. Metallic, yeah, metallic. Yeah, I may get, let me grab my gold. I think I saw gold here a moment ago. I think we need a different shape. Maybe a solid circle. All right. There we go. I've got a lid to a Coke bottle. I'm trying to dry some of this so that I don't. Yeah, I see it, Julie. Now I'll do it in just a moment. I'm going to add some gold, but I think I want a smaller gold, where it's just a little circle. This is a lid to a Tattered Angels, I think. All right. So I'm going to add a little bit of gold paint if I can get it open. Yep, you just pulled into Chandler, did you? Well, cool. All right, so I put a little bit of gold. This is Antique Gold by Master's Touch. Oh! Well, tell your mama hi. Hope she's okay. All right, so I've got a little bit of paint on here. So I'm just going to come in here and just add. Oh, that didn't work. There we go. I don't need texture paste. I'm doing it with paint. Kind of adding some polka dots. Okay, where else? Right here, maybe? All right, what do you think? Is that what you wanted? A little bit of gold? Kind of wild? Yeah. Yeah, little shaped objects for painting. They're great for this kind of thing because you don't have to think too much. You can just start playing and see what happens. I kind of like the way that one turned out. All right, let's let that dry. Set that up there. It's got a lot of paint on it, so it's going to take it a while. All right, so I got another. This is, I just painted it with a little bit of acrylic paint. So that's the unpainted side, and here's the painted side. All right, let's color the background. This I'm going to go dark. So this is pomegranate. It's a really dark kind of purple, pink. Ooh, look at that. Kind of dry it a little bit. All right, so I think I'm going to use the gold later. So let's get, oh, let's get some bubble wrap. I've got a piece of bubble wrap here. And, you know, I've got this purple in my palette. So let me get my little brayer. And I'm just going to roll it over the bubble wrap. What I did was I took some cardboard that I had at the shop and I glued them together, and then I did used a stapler to staple some bubble wrap so it was easier to maneuver. Ah. All right, and then pull this off. Oh, that's kind of cool with the bubble wrap there. All right, so let's come back in with this. Oh, I just stuck my arm in paint. I do that a lot. All right, so I'm just going to kind of do some smaller little circles. I don't know. I'm okay. I'm in the zone now. So if you're asking me questions, I'm in the zone. Okay. I got a little bit of a pattern going on here, so I was going to come back and make a different in the middle. Okay, so we got some circles going on. Bubble wrap. You like the tattered angels? You like that with the gold on there? Very mixed media. Okay, we'll set that aside to dry for a little bit. Okay, so now what? I think this time, I've got a green here I haven't used. This one's called Hemlock Green, so it's a darker green. Let's see what it looks like. Well, it may not spray. Let's see if I can get it to... Yeah, come on. Well, I may have to use a different one. Let's see what this one is. This one's royal green, so it's going to be a much different green. If it's a little too bright, what we can do, I have it here somewhere, is I've got a bottle of water. It's called H2O, Linda. Where is it? It's brown. There it is. It was hiding behind other paint. I need to move a few things back out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. I think I need to add more water to it. All right, so we've got a little bit of water going on. Oh, here we go. Just adding a little bit of water makes that move just a little bit. Okay, and now I'm going to dry it. You didn't get left out. Pays to complain. The squeaky wheel. Trying to get some of this paint to dry. I'll dry it as it pours down the page. I just put my hand in it, smush it around. Okay, there we go. All right, let's get a different stencil. What do I want? What stencil do I want? Let's do, where's that stencil? That's not in there. Let's do waffle flower stencil. I'm going to lay that over. I think this time I'm going to use some Distress Oxide. I've got blueprint, sketch blueprint. So here's my blue. So I'm just going to come in here and blend over that green. That's why I wanted to make sure it was dry before I moved on. Okay. Ah! Like the dribble effect, Julie? It's kind of a fun technique. Okay. How's that? You don't see the dribble effect as much, but it's a little bit in there. What we could do is come back and spray over the top of that. And that's going to make that whoop, move. Make it move. Maybe we'll come back with, oh, what color do I want? This is Pop Rocks. So we'll make it move just a little bit. And I'll use my heat tool and make it move a little bit. Mixing up all those mediums. Look like paper that got wet. But we did it on purpose. Oh, okay. Graduates from Drone Right Votech. Cool. Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations to her. Well done. Oh, that kitty Wally. Lucky Wally. Are you calling him Wally or Lucky? Or Lucky Wally? Hey, you know the large daisy flowers? You could glue one onto some cardboard and use... Oh, yeah, there you go. That's a good idea. Make marks with that. What else could we do? You mean go outside and see if I can find a sunflower? That's what I should have done, is went and got a sunflower. I still could. My arms itch for some reason today. I've gotten into something. What could I use? I'm kind of thinking, I'm going to be right back. Y'all are going to think I'm crazy. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourself. I'm going to see if I can find a sunflower. this isn't a true sunflower, but it's a native flower to Oklahoma. So let me get one. Here we go. And we even have a couple of leaves that I grabbed. So let me see. Do I want to go this way? Yeah, let's do it that way. So we've got a little bit of a sunflower here. So I'm going to get out some yellow paint. Is that the right shade? I'm trying to decide which one's the best. That's the same color. I think I'm going to mix these two together. All right, so I'm going to get a little bit of yellow here. Ugh. Okay. And look at my little palette knife. You know what? We got a little bit of this gold, so I'll put a little bit of this gold in there. All right, so I'm just kind of mushing it out a little bit there. Clean off my palette knife. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab some of that yellow, kind of smush it down into the paint just a little bit. Okay. And then let's see what happens if we kind of mush it out. It's going to be messy, but that's kind of an interesting little mark. Maybe if I zoom in, you can see it a little better. Or let me clean my finger off before I touch my mouse. Come on, computer. All right. So we're just going to poke it down into the paint and then move it over a little bit. And then I'm just kind of smushing it with my fingers. This makes an interesting pattern. And each one's going to be a little bit different. Okay. Oh, kind of out of camera, that shot there. This leaf is, let's go right about here. And let's put one here. We're just playing. Abstract in nature, exactly. Okay, I kind of like the way that looks. All right, let's zoom back out. All right, I got a leaf here. Do I want to try? I don't know if it'll print very well if I paint it. Maybe instead what I'll do is get some green paint and a paintbrush. Oh my gosh, a paintbrush, Linda. All right, I got a paintbrush and I've got some green paint. So I'm just going to put a little bit on my palette here. And I'm going to use this as my inspiration. Kind of get my paintbrush going. And we'll just kind of make some marks. Oh, I just dabbed in some blue. Just kind of adding some green on there. Can you even, I don't know why I was holding that, but I was. How's that? Now I think we need to put a little darker in the center because these are a little bit darker yellow. So I'm going to grab some of the gold paint. A little bit more of it. Now that didn't really make much difference, did it? So what if I add a touch of orange? There, we don't need much. All right, just put a little yellow and orange there in the middle. Thank you, Rhonda, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so I'm going to mix some of this yellow and orange together. And I'm going to use my brush to kind of add a few more. Yeah, there we go. Just kind of adding a few more petals. Trying to turn my brush different directions. Very abstract. What do you think? Just a little something there. I need some bees. I tricked you. I think that turns out pretty cool. Something different, right? All right, so just a different little piece. Maybe we can use that to make a little element in a junk journal. Kind of cool. All right, let's dry it a little bit and we'll set it aside. All right, that looks kind of cool. All right, I don't want to stack these too much. There we go. All right, so I was watching some tutorials about using resist spray, and I didn't have a resist spray. So I watched the Frugal Crafter, Lindsay, I think is her name. And she used some Mod Podge and water in a spray bottle to make a resist spray. So let's see what happens here. I've got a painted page. Oh, thank you, Tanya. Thanks so much for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've got some homemade resist spray. I've got a page that I've painted with acrylic paint. I think I'm trying to decide what. Oh, let's use. Well, I don't know. Oh, let's use this one. This is the Baroque flower stencil. And I'm going to get my paper towel out because we're going to use a spray. I don't want it to go everywhere. All right. My workspace is shrinking and shrinking. Has that ever happened to you? No, of course not. You have plenty of room to work, right? All right, so I'm laying this out. I'm going to take my resist spray and spray it over my stencil. And I didn't find any good results with smashing another piece of paper on top, but we're going to try it anyway. So I'm going to set that one aside. This is pretty wet. So I'm going to get another one and lay this on top and let that soak up some of that spray and then peel it off. And then we're going to dry it. It may or may not work. I got a couple of things to work earlier and some of them that didn't. So I don't know if it was my technique or what. All right, so those are wet. And basically, it's just glue. And it's supposed to resist what you put over the top of it. So I'm going to dry it. Ah, gotcha. Hi, Barbara. Hello. Your husband's phone. My daughter is on the phone, so I put on his. Oh, gotcha. Yep, I could stamp. I've got a B I could add. Yeah, Ada, I will. I'll have. I'll put all these together, and we'll do that. How about we do that next week? We'll figure out how to use all these pieces in a journal next week. All right, is this dry? Almost. It's still shiny in a couple of spots. Okay. The only bad thing about some of this mixed media stuff is, you know, you can do it if you have room to set it aside so you don't have to worry about how long is it going to take. Okay. Trying to get it dry, 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 dry. All right, I'm going to set this one aside to dry for a minute. And let's see what happens when I use this one. And what color do I want to use this time that I have here? I've got this aqua vibe. It's almost empty. Is it going to resist? Let's see what it does here. What stencil did I use? The Baroque. It may not work. I may not have the right mixture. Again, we're playing. We're experimenting. And maybe what I need to do is to let it dry naturally instead of using the heat tool to dry it. I can't quite see. I do know that it will make a sealant for the Tattered Angels. So if you're a person who likes the Tattered Angels, but you don't want it to be your final layer, you can spray the glue mixture over the top of it and it will seal it. I don't see a resist going on really. All right, I'm going to try something else. I'm going to spray it again. And I'm going to set this aside to dry. And we're going to try something different in a minute. All right, so let's go back to this one. This one I can see a little bit more of the pattern. Let's see what happens if I kind of rub it. Nope, I don't see a resist. It kind of comes across in a couple of spots, but I'm not really seeing a resist. Well, okay, let's try something else. Let's, all right, I'm going to dry that. I don't know if I'm not putting enough in. Maybe I need more glue. Okay. Well, it didn't do anything. Not that I can see anyway. So I may have to mess with that some more. Maybe I need to change maybe I need to use a different medium over it. I was trying it with the sprays. Okay, so I'm going to come back with, I've got the Distress Oxide and Blueprint Sketch again. So we're getting a different texture here. Oh, I need to throw my flour away so it doesn't get stuck to my paint tray so I can clean off the paint and use it again if I want. Okay. Oh, well. Sometimes they work. Okay, gotcha, Robin. If y'all haven't already entered the raffle, please do so. We're only going to have a couple of raffles today. So that was Flowers and Vines that I put over that sprayed Tattered Angel background. So it kind of gives us a different texture and color. All right, so I set this aside a moment ago. It's still wet, so I'm going to dry it. What can I put over that, I wonder? It's kind of interesting that it made this splotchy look. Okay, I'm going to kind of wipe that off. We're getting some different texture there. Is that different? That's a different color in it down there. All right, so, what do we want to do next? I'm looking for a different stencil. How about, I've got the ribbon rose. If I do that, it kind of takes out the green. I don't want to do that one. That's not the right one. Not for this one. This one might be better. It's called Feeding Frenzy. So we'll still see a lot of that green in the background. And let's spray, what can we spray over the green that will show up? That's a light turquoise. This is the Under the Sea color, but I think, you know what, let's do this one. This is the pomegranate. Yeah, just try it. You never know what you're going to get. All right, I'm going to lift this up. So that made an interesting pattern. All right, so I'm going to take a book page that's been painted with with acrylic paint. I'm going to lift that up. It's kind of got some nice texture on there. Yeah, that was a green, kind of a tealy aqua green. All right. What else do we want to do here? I'm almost out of my papers that I pre-painted. Let's look at what we did so far. I may try this technique again. I think I'm going to try something else. I'm going to try spraying the paper and setting it aside to dry and see what it does. All right, so I've got a coated paper here. Let's get a different stencil. This is the Little Daisy stencil. So the other one was more Little Daisies. This is Little Daisies. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to generously spray this. And then I'm going to just take this whole thing and I'll set this aside. I'm going to take just a regular book page and lay that on top. So that was using my resist spray. You can see a little bit of the color where the spray was. So I'm going to let that dry. and we'll see what happens. We'll revisit that one after it air dries. All right, y'all enter the raffle for 200 junk bucks. All right, so that was Mortal Daisies. So I've got these. I'm going to set them aside up here. Let's see, where should I put those? Let's put them right here. All right, they're behind me. All righty. I will do this. Okay. All right, the winner of 200 junk bucks is Lori Merchant. Congratulations! You got 200 junk bucks. All right, so here, let's do, what do I call this? Okay, so we're going to do a little goodie pack. This is a goodie pack. I think this is from my very first subscription box when I did the winter, what did we call it? The first one. Who remembers the first kit? And so this has some journal cards, it has some burlap scraps, it has some denim, it has some canvas scraps in it. There's some little small, can't get my words out, file folder, and some card stock in there. So we're going to give that away. All right, so let's see. What can we do now? I'll try to decide what to do next. All right, here's a page we haven't painted yet. I've got all these little papers that I'm making. I think I want to do some, let's just do some painting. How about that? Oh, I got an idea. Okay, so this has just acrylic paint over the top of it. Do I have a piece here? Here's one. But I've got a plastic bag, so I'm going to cut it. So this technique, a lot of people were doing with plastic wrap. But I thought, well, why would I use plastic wrap when I have a bunch of these plastic bags laying around? Okay, so I've got that set aside. Since we have some water, or excuse me, we have some paint right here, I'm going to add some water to it. Apparently I need to add some water to my bottle because it's not cooperating. So I'm going to pour that over here to the side. I keep a jug of water in my craft room. It comes in handy whenever I need water. Then I don't have to run to the sink to go get it. And I do replace the jug every once in a while because for some reason they get a hole in it. I don't know why, but it has happened to me a couple of times. All right, so I'm just adding some water to these paints to really get this watery. And then I'm just going to come in here and add some paint on here. I'll grab some of this blue. Okay, let's grab this green. Kind of blend them together a little bit. Add a little bit more blue here. This is another technique I saw that somebody had done. You want to keep your color family pretty similar so that you don't end up with mud. But I'm going to spray this with a little bit of water. And then let me grab a tray so I can move it around. All right, so I'm going to lay this on my little tray here. I'm going to take my plastic wrap and lay that over the top, but I'm not going to smush it flat down. I'm just going to put it over the top of this, and then I'm going to let this dry. It may take it a couple hours, may take overnight. And I made one earlier, different technique. Now if I remember where I put it. I think they were up here. These are still a little wet. Okay, is this? Oh, here it is. So these, I did the same concept, but I had put gesso over the page, and I used tattered angels. I did the same thing where I just kind of painted it on, and then I put the plastic bag over it and let it dry overnight. And then when I pulled it off, it had these really cool textures to it. Isn't that kind of interesting? Something different. I've got another page. This one has this one has gesso on it. So let's do that again. I'm going to clean my paintbrush out. Okay. So now I know, for example, this green the sprayer didn't work very well. I'm trying to find a blue. Okay, there's a blue. And let's use I've got a yellow here. Here we go. So I'm going to shake these. Yeah, kind of like a bright tie-dye. Yeah, exactly. So this has clear gesso over the page. So I'm going to come in with some, I've got yellow. This is sunflower. And I'm just taking my paintbrush and putting it on the page. Okay. I'm going to clean out my brush. Close this up. I've got a blue. This was called blue water. It's kind of an aqua blue. The messier you are, it's fine. Now, if you kind of mix the colors together, you get a little bit. The more water you have, the better. I think I was going to use the green, but I think instead, where did I just see it? Here it is. Let's get the pomegranate. It's kind of that purpley. Or dyed, whatever. Yep. Kind of makes a purple when you touch it with the blue. All right, so it may have dried up a little bit because of the fact that I have my ceiling fan on. So let me grab another pan here. Oh, well, that won't work because it's got stuff in it. Okay. Losing my shoe. I should have put it in the pan to begin with. Okay, I've got it in the pan. I'm going to get my plastic wrap ready. I don't need the whole thing, so I can kind of get some of this to move. I'm going to spray it with water. And then I'm going to lay my plastic bag on it again. And the more little wrinkles it has in it, the better, because what'll happen is it'll kind of make that paint come up and give you that neat texture. Yeah, the first time I used acrylic paint, and then I've also used Tattered Angels, and then you can use saran wrap, or in this case, it was a plastic shopping bag is what I used on there. And then just let it dry, and when it comes out, you're going to get these really cool textured areas where it pulled that paint up. Yeah, the first one was acrylics. So I'll let that dry overnight or whenever. We'll see what happens. Okay, let's set this over here. So that was some play that I did a little bit of. I'm noticing that there's some paint in my little tray here, so I'm just going to use my brayer. Kind of get some of this paint off of my little palette. All right, I covered that. Leave my brayer off. I've got a bucket of water over here to the side. I think I'm just going to leave that brayer in there. It's kind of got gumped up on there. All right, that's still kind of wet, so let's dry it. It's kind of a neat technique, isn't it? I'm trying to remember who I saw that on, but there's a couple of people who've done it. All right, so that's it's kind of dark. This is called Scandinavian wallpaper. So I'm going to lay that over. And where's my little dauber? I think I need some more gold paint because I think this is dried up. So put a little gold paint in here. Need to buy some more paint. I'm almost out of some colors. All right, so I got a little gold paint, and I'm just going to come in here and pounce over this. So, you know, that background may not have looked that appetizing because it was so dark. But I think going over it with this gold... Oopsie, I just moved. Oh, yeah, that's going to look pretty good. I'm trying to line it back up. All right, let's see. Right about there. So how many of you are going to get out some of your mixed media supplies and play? Just give you some ideas to try. Thank you so much, Jennifer. I appreciate you helping me give the name because she said it reminded her of her grandma's wallpaper, her Scandinavian grandmother's wallpaper. Oh, that looks pretty cool now, doesn't it? Put that in my bucket of water. So here's where it come together. So we can use that to make a pocket or accent a journal page. Alrighty. I'm going to clean off my dauber here and kind of get rid of some of this paint. Okay, clean this off. You like that? Thank you. Paper, stamps, and ink. Yeah, sure. There you go, Margie. You got stamp and inks. You can use it. Here, in fact, you know, I just put paint on this, right? So let's grab, I haven't used this color. Crackling Fire, or see, was it Crackling Campfire? Just adding some color there. And I'm going to wet it, which will make it move a little bit. And let's dry it. This was not a painted page. This was just a regular book page. Now you like it, right? Clean off your desk with play with stencil and finish your new set of nails. Oh, cool, Jennifer. Cool, good, good. You didn't like the blue, purple, green mess before until I added the gold to it. Okay, so now I'm going to come back with fossilized amber. Add a little bit of that on there. I'm going to spray it. This time I'm going to spray it with, let's see if I can find the color I want. Nope. Orange and yellow Tattered Angels. Well, there's a little bit in here. This one's called Gold. Let's see. It's empty, I think. Yep, it's not coming out. Okay. That is, I don't know what's in this one, because that's not the color, but we're going to try it. This says Punked Out Steam, but I can tell that's not the color. But it has some gold in it. All right, that looks kind of cool. All right, let's try that one. So now it's got some shimmer all over it. Okay. When you're 30. Robin, did you need to refresh or something? I don't know why my arm itches so bad today. I'm trying not to scratch it. Okay, I kind of like that it's got an interesting color in it. All right, so what do we want to do to it now? Oh, I know. Let's get out some rubber stamps. I haven't added this one to my shop yet. I just made it. But it's a big, bold butterfly. So if you already have one, you can use what you got. Or you can wait till tomorrow when I get this one added. And let's use, we're going to use Archival Inkjet Black, but I'm pretty sure that I need to add some ink. So I've got my re-inker here. And I'm just going to do a little squiggle across here. I need to order some more re-inker, it looks like. Okay. All right, let's take this. I haven't even used it yet. It's a brand new stamp. I'm just going to stamp it all over. There's going to be a little bit of a resist going on because of the Tattered Angels. But I think that turned into a cool background. What do you think? Yeah, I need something because my arm, I don't know if you can see how red it is right here. I don't know what I've gotten into that it's itching. You know, I think I might know. I've got a mixed media mat that I haven't used before laying here, so I'm going to do something. I'm going to lay some paper over it and see if that makes a difference. I don't know. It feels like I've got some little sticky things. That didn't help because I can still feel it. Make a pretty gift wrap, yeah, wouldn't it? Just something kind of different. I think we could use a different stamp over it. Let's see what else I've got here. Oh, I don't have that one made yet. Okay. Oh, here we go. We'll do a follow your heart. We'll just stamp that in between. Ah, dropping stuff. Okay, I think I'm really going to have to do something here about this. My arm really itches. Okay. Let's do this. Follow your heart. I kind of like it. Just adding the texture all over. You like that? Oh, yes, yes, it is the Ulysses. I did get it added. I wasn't sure if I got it added. Yes, that is the Ulysses. Yes. It's supposed to be blue. A Ulysses butterfly is blue. So maybe we should do that again, but in blues. All right, let's do that again. That was fun. Okay, so I've got Blueprint Sketch, Salty Ocean, and Mermaid Lagoon. So we're going to do the lightest color first. Actually, these are pretty close to the same. So I'm going to put the blue on. Okay. So that was Salty Ocean. I'm going to come back in. I've got, this is the Dancing Dragonflies Blue Water that comes in the add-on kit, but I think I sold out of the Dancing Dragonflies. And I'm going to add a little bit of water so it'll react a little bit, and then we're going to dry it. Okay. You don't have that many, but you know, you can find different ones that you already have that'll work. Okay, so now let's use the Blueprint Sketch. So I'm just going to put a little bit. So using ink pads, let's add a little bit of water to that one. Which kind of gets it to react a little bit. Use some right here. And then let's dry it. You want to make sure it's dry. Come on, Junkie Joe! Thank you, Robin, for posting the Ulysses rubber stamp, butterfly stamp. Okay, I got to get it dry. You're still waiting for the FGG cruise? Well, I tried to get one together a while back, but then COVID hit and the prices have been all over the place. I'm going on a cruise in September. You want to go with me in September, Lori? I guess that's what I should do is post that I've already got a cruise, and if you want to go, here it is. Henry's already booked one for us. All right, so I'm going to use the Ulysses stamp again and just stamp it all over. Leaving a little bit of gaps every once in a while. Okay, so now I'm going to use the follow your heart. Do we need a heart as well? Do I need to get out a heart? I like it. I know this is really busy right now on my desk. All the stuff that's going on. I kind of like it though, how it's come together. Yes, okay, Lori, I'll send you the information. Oh, here's a gel print that I made a while back. I'll lay that on top of it. So what do you think? That's kind of cool. Uh-oh. Tell him to go. Tell him you're busy. That's okay, Robin. You got it out there. We understand. I kind of like that. I could make more of those. What do you think? Maybe what other color we need? The little flourish heart. I don't know if I have the flourish heart. Let me see if I've got. That little bitty stamp. I gotta see where it is. It's not there. It's not there. I may not have one for myself, Robin. That's what's funny. I may have one in the other room, but I don't see one there. Sometimes I make those stamps to fill the stamp sheet, and I don't end up with one of my own. Yeah, I don't see that there. Oh, I forgot to show y'all that I did scan in the gel prints that I made last week. I'll show those to you. I haven't made them into a digital download yet, but I did get them scanned in. So I'll pull those out for y'all. Okay, here they are. There we go. I printed a bunch of stuff. All right, so here are the I'm trying to get to the originals. Okay, there's the originals. So this is my original gel prints that I did last week. I didn't scan those in because I didn't like the way they looked once I scanned them. But I did scan the rest of these and made them into a digital download. So these are the originals. And here's how they turned out. So there's one. I didn't really adjust the colors too much. Like I love this, how this yellow turned out over the blue. And then this is a teal and blue. The blue over the yellow. The two different shades of pink. And this was, I think, a dark purple over the teal. It may have been a dark blue, but and then the green and the yellow. and then a green and the blue. Thanks for coming in, Suzanne. Hello. And then, oh, I did turn that one into a digital. I wasn't sure. This was a using the bubble wrap. I thought that was interesting how some of the colors come out, you know, once you scan them into the computer. There's some interesting prints there, but I'll work on getting that added to my shop for those of you that like to have the digital downloads of my gel prints. Okay, I think I want to make another one of the backgrounds, but let's use a different color scheme. So which colors? Which color should we use? I'll get another book page here and lay out my, see which side. It doesn't matter. This side will be good. All right. Oh, we haven't done pinks and we haven't done purples, so I don't know. I've got this aged mahogany. It may be too dark, so we're going to try it and see how it comes out. And then I've got picked raspberry. So I'm going to do the picked raspberry first. And I have, this is Enchanted Rose, so it's a pale pink, Tattered Angels. And we'll add a little bit of water to kind of get that Distress Oxide to move a little bit. I think that'll work. Let's add some heat and dry it. Yeah, I got a bunch of prints last week. A bunch of prints. Oh, cool! With metallics. Oh, awesome. I'll have to check it out, Robin. Thanks for sharing that with me. Okay, so we did picked raspberry, and then I sprayed it with a pink Tattered Angels. And this may be a little dark, so I'm going to do it very lightly. So I didn't do it all over very much, just a little bit here and there. So I'm adding a little bit of water to that aged mahogany to kind of get it to move just a little bit. Okay, that'll look good. Well, glad you're back. Okay. Trying to get this dry. Dry, dry, dry. I can see doing this in every color, right? Okay, I'm gonna set this aside so it can air dry for a moment and do another one. That way it can be drying. So let's do it in, I need a green. Oh, I got bundled sage. That's a blue. That's a really dark green. Ah, here we go. How about mowed lawn and bundled sage? So this time I'm going to go across the page. Okay, so that was bundled sage. I'm going to put my Get back where you belong. Might want that one. Okay, so I'm going to get a paintbrush and dip it into this hemlock since the spray doesn't work, and kind of just add a little bit. All right, so that's just adding a little bit of the hemlock tattered angels. I'm going to spray it with a little bit of water, which will get that bundled sage to move, and then dry it. All right, well that's drying. I'm going to set that aside. Come back over here. So that had the aged mahogany and the picked raspberry. And I think if I get rid of this for a moment, that might help because it's damp. Drying it from both sides. It's soaked through the paper. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, so let's get our stamps ready. Oh, that looks really good. Okay, I like that with the pink. All right, let's do Follow Your Heart. How's that? All right, so we need to do the green. So let's finish this. I think it's just about dry. All right, so I'm going to add mowed lawn to this. I like it. It's got some fun texture to it. All right, let's spray it with some water. Get that to react. And I don't know what I got into, but my arms, you probably can't even see the red that's coming out on my arm. Trying to get this somewhat dry. Or let's set this one aside to dry. I need to do a purple one. I haven't done that yet. So I'm trying to get a book page that looks good. And I've got shaded lilac. So let's see how that comes out. Okay, that's got some good color. Get my paper towel back out so I can soak up some of the spray. And I have, this is Pop Rock, so it's kind of a pinky purple. So I just put a little bit of that on there, and I'm going to do some water to get that to react. We'll dry it just a smidge. Okay, so now I've got Dusty Concord. So you get a little bit of depth and color there. I haven't sent it yet, Barbara. You're in my list to send out next. I've been trying to send things when I get money for postage or if someone placed an order so I can stick them all together. So I've got a few rubber stamps we have to make that just came in, orders that I'll be working on this week. Okay, I'll let that dry. Come back to the green. That one should be dry enough. I think this is a great way to use up all these book pages. Okay, what do I do with it? Ah, there it is. Okay. Okay, got the butterfly. Now let's do the follow your heart. Okay. There you go. So here we've got the orangey yellow, the green, the pink, and the blue. So let's do this purple one now. Am I getting all the colors? What color did I miss? I'm trying to see what other color I have here that I haven't done yet. I don't know how well the grays would look. Gotcha. We've done, well, I think that's good enough. I think this purple will be a good stopping point. All right, I think I got that dry enough. Let's stamp it out. Everything's moving. Okay. And I'm okay if it's not a perfect stamping, because I'm going to use this as a background, so I can see making these into some journal cards. What do y'all think? What I could do is stamp the follow your heart on another piece of paper, and then I could cut out a heart. Reds or yellow. What's that I just did? Well, I didn't do red. I mean, we did done these colors so far. Gotcha. All right, so what color? All right, so I've got fire brick and crackling fire. So this is just distress ink, where that's a distress oxide. So let's see how those turn out. Wow, let's grab another book page. All right, so this is fired brick, and that's crackling campfire. So let's do the red first. It's really dark. So I'm going to see if I have a lighter. So bronze. So I've got a gold Tattered Angels. This one is from the Dancing Dragonflies, but, well, I may need another sprayer. Let's see if I got another one. That's precious metals. Here I just tore a hole in my glove. I'm gonna have to be careful and not get ink on my fingers. I may do this. I've got some really cheap gloves. I don't want to stain my hands. Let's see if I can. We're gonna double glove it. There we go. Got it on. All right. So we added some tattered angels. I'm going to add a little bit of water. I think that kind of made it change a little bit. You like the pages? Thank you. Yeah, journal cards. Yeah, it activated, didn't it? Okay, let's put that one back. All right, so now I've got crackling campfire. So it's kind of an orangey red. I don't know. It depends how it reacts. I don't think I have any art chalk. So it's kind of an orangey red now. Okay, let's finish this one, and then what I'll do is we'll make a journal card. So I'll kind of clean up my desk here a little bit, move a few things out of the way. Put my paintbrush up. I'll need those. I don't need that. That can go in here. This can go in here. Okay. Uh-oh. Add extra letters. You like this redder, orangey color? Okay. Now let's get the ink pad. Okay. And then let's use Follow Your Heart. All right, I like it. All right, let's do this. I'm going to move this out of the way. I cleaned off my desk like that, like magic. I'm going to remove my gloves because my hands are getting tired of. I don't like these gloves. I've ordered some others. I picked those up at the dollar store a while back. All right, so let's make some journal cards. I kind of like the way these look. So let's make a journal card. Do I have, oh, here, maybe. And I've got this orange. I don't think I see any pinks. Ah, I do have a pink. There's a pink. Do I have a blue anymore? I may have used them all. Well, I've got a white card. We can alter it. Okay. I didn't get a green out, did I? I don't guess we need to do all of them. Let's just do one or two, right? Barbara, all you can do is try. You know, you just got to get your stuff out and try. I mean, I'm using distress inks. I don't know if you have any of those. You could use acrylic paint. If you've got chalks, try them. I don't know how well they'll stick to paper without another medium for them to stick to. All right, I think if I use this one on here, and let's do this one. Let's make 2. Okay. Move these out of the way for a minute. All right, let me get my paper cutter. So this is 5.5 inches. So let's make that, let's do it 5 inches tall. Kind of trimming off some of it. And it is 4 inches wide. So if we do it, do I want it at 3? Yeah, let's do 3.5. So if we were to put this on there, what do you think? That kind of makes it nice. So there's one. I'm just going to set this aside for now and save it for later. And we need it to be 3.5 inches. So that'll go there. Well, you know what? I've got the papers out. Let's just do it. Okay, I've got a purple. So let's do this purple, 5 inches. And 3.5 inches. Like so. And what else did we have? I'm out of blue, but I had this orange. So let's do this orange. You like that? Okay. Thank you so much. I wonder if I'm allergic to the gloves I used. I'm really curious now because I see a powder all over my hands. I'm going to try cleaning my hands with some, I've got some hand sanitizer. Maybe if I get all that off. That feels better already. All right, so there is pink and orange. I didn't have a blue, but I had some white cardstock. And it's a little bit smaller, wider, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and cut it to be 4 inches wide. Okay, so now I've got these 2 colors of white. So I'm going to get the green and the blue. All right, I was going to try to cut both at the same time, but sometimes they don't get lined up straight. Okay. Okay, and then one more. Okay. Throw that away. Yeah, it's that powder that they used in the, maybe in the gloves. Okay. So we need to alter those 2. So I'm going to get out, I've got, do I want mowed lawn? I think I do. I want mowed lawn. And let's do salty ocean. So get my scrap of paper here. So what I'm going to do is get out my green. There's my green. Well, we'll use mermaid. It'll work. It's close enough. So I'm going to alter the front of this card so that it matches. So I'm just using salty ocean. So even though I didn't have a card already that color, what do you think? I've only used them one other time, so I don't know if that's what it was. It could be the latex, so I don't know. I've used a different kind. I only had a couple left, so I was trying to save them. I've got this kind. These don't bother me at all, the blue ones. And that's what I've ordered some of. So these are nitrile, but these are latex disposable gloves. And I don't know if that's what it is or if it's I used a different mixed media mat for the closest to me. You guys can't see it because I didn't want to get paint on my other mat. All right, let's move these out of the way for a moment. All right, so now I'm going to come in here with the green. If y'all use any of my links that Robin shared to Amazon, I greatly appreciate it. If you're going to order stuff anyway, click on one of my links. I get a little bit of commission. It doesn't cost you any extra. It just gives me a little commission, and I greatly appreciate your support. Okay, that looks pretty good, doesn't it, on that green? I may want to add some of the bundled sage to that because that mowed lawn really came out brighter green. So I'm going to use some bundled sage over that green. It may not work. Let's see if I can get it. Kind of tone it down just a little bit. All right, trying to work fast here. That looks pretty good. All right, let's add some distress inks to the edges. Maybe easier if I stack a couple of these on top of each other because they're book pages, so they're thinner. I don't want them to tear. That added a little distressing. I think that looks pretty good. Okay. Oh, yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, you can let us know and we'll get you a link. I've been sharing my nail stuff with Jennifer, and she's been sharing stuff with me, so we've been using each other's links to buy things. Okay, there's the purple. Let's do this blue. Great way to use up these book pages, right? Making your own little background papers. I'm liking how these looked. And it didn't take us very long to make them, and you could make a whole set like this in just a few minutes if you're making a journal. I may have to make a journal just for these, right? All right, so what's everybody going to do this week? You got plans? I'm teaching a workshop. I think is the 20th Saturday? I don't know what day of the week this is. There's a Saturday that I'm teaching a gel print workshop. So if you're a local person or you can get to Oklahoma on Saturday, I think it's the 20, maybe it's next week. The 26th, is that a Saturday? What's Saturdays? The next two Saturdays. I think it's next Saturday. Julie's going to work. Okay, there's the red and there's the pink. I think those look really good. Let's glue these together. We can and finish embellishing them next week even if we need to. Do you like what I did today? Did you get some inspiration to play with your mixed media? I think I need to clean my nozzle out of my glue. Okay, wipe that off. Wasn't getting any glue out. There we go. That's a lot better. Work, work, work. Where's my bone folder? That looks pretty good, doesn't it? I like these. Lori, lots of new ideas. You like it? The 27th. Whatever Saturday is. I don't think the 27th is right either. I think it's the 26th, Robin. Okay, there's that one. Let's do this pink. Swaps to make and send. I haven't done any swaps in a while. Swaps are fun though. You can make all kinds of cool things and get inspired by what you receive. All right, so we've got a purple, a green. Trying to get those where you can see them. Huge project this weekend. Yeah, what are you making? Is it a secret, Margie? Mass making? I kind of made rainbow color here, didn't I? Don't forget to give me a thumbs up today, y'all. Oop. Tore my paper a little bit. There we go. So let's put that here. We've got this yellow. We didn't get all the colors of the rainbow, but we got a pretty good selection there, didn't we? I didn't do yellow. That's what I missed. Is yellow, right? Yep, secret. Oh, we look forward to if you get to share it with us. All righty. We're going to pick the last. Should bring your tea bag. Oh, cool. Yeah. Do your tea bag ephemera. You can make stuff while you watch me. All right, so there is, let's do the purple. So I need a yellow, right? That looks pretty good. I have a heart here that I'm thinking of cutting out of another piece of paper and putting it on top and then doing the follow your heart on another piece of paper on top of that. I think that would be kind of fun. So we'll see. What I'll do is we'll finish these up next week and we'll use some of these other papers that we made. I say we, that I made today. So I made that one today and this one and this one. They should be dry now. Here's another one I made. I don't know if these are dry enough back here. But we can... Oh yeah, that's plenty dry enough. Okay, that was with the acrylic paint. So you can see how it looks on the bag. So that was with the acrylic paint. That was one. I'll set that out of the way because it's still wet. And let's see if this one, it may be dry enough. Oh, it's still wet, but I think it still gives us a cool effect. Do you see how that turned out? Could probably dry it a little bit. But that kind of cool. the way those turned out using the Tattered Angels and acrylic paint. Okay, and then what else we did? Oh, here's some more papers we made. So made that today with wiping up the stenciled page. Where did the stenciled one go? Because it's not right here. Oh, there it is. There's the one where we stenciled through and then mopped up. Here we did several layers. I tried to do the resist. It didn't work. This was just cleaning out my palette with those dark blues. This is cleaning off my sponge dauber. Picking up the stencil after putting it through the stencil. There is mopping up after spraying through. Here's some others that I made. I was just playing around with color. So some of the things that we made today, next week I'll show you some ideas of making elements to go in your journals out of the things that I made today, and probably a few other gel prints and whatnot that I have behind me. You think it looks awesome? Well, thank you. It's fun, wasn't it? It's kind of fun how those come together, you know, with texture. So, you know, a little bit of acrylic paint, some Tattered Angels, Distress Inks, whatever it is, as long as it's wet. And then you put the plastic bag over it. And if your page is coated with something, whether it be gesso or with acrylic paint, so that it kind of gets that resist look to it, okay? Yeah, I got a lot done today. Y'all enter the raffle if you haven't already, and we'll draw the winner of our little goodie pack. We've had some thunderstorms here. I think I'm going to go clean up my arms really good and take some Benadryl because it's all nice and red and irritated. I appreciate y'all being here today and hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that you're inspired to create. I love how these came out just using book pages, Distress Oxide, Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist, some papers that I already had. So I'm using up some of that stash. All right, my arm itches. Ah, it itches, it itches, it itches. I'm going to do some more of this on there. Trying to get off of there. All right, I'm going to get last chance. Get in on the raffle. Next week, like I said, we'll use some of these. I think I want to make some more of this type of a paper. I think those would be kind of fun to make. If you're not a member of the Friendly Junk Journal people and you're watching today, definitely come and join. We greatly appreciate our members, and you're welcome to share what you're working on in your junk journals or ask questions. All right, let's pick a winner here. The winner of the little goodie pack is Suzanne. Congratulations, Suzanne. All righty. Well, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me today. I'm going to get off here and go clean my arm because it itches like crazy, and take some Benadryl to get rid of the itch. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, give this video a thumbs up. Share with your friends if you think that they would be inspired by what I shared today. And hey, if you make something, take a photo of it, share it in the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group, tag me so I can take a look to see what you made. Alrighty, well, I'm going to get off here. Y'all have an amazing day. Do something creative. Do something that makes you feel good, whether it be a tiny, tiny little thing or a great big project. And then be kind. Let's do something kind for another human being. Who knows? Sharing a little bit of kindness with someone else may cause our world to have this rolling effect of where we're kind to everybody and it just gets better, right? All right, y'all have an amazing week. Lots of love to each and every one of you. Bye, everybody.